Welcome to Info Night for the Canadian Sports School. It's so great to have you all here. Before we begin, we'd like to acknowledge that we're on the traditional lands of the Lekwungen and Saanich peoples. We're so grateful to be able to work, live, play, and study here, and to welcome you all here this evening. My name is Stacey Land, and I'm the Business Development Manager here at PICE. And about 5 years ago, PICE had the opportunity to take on this program from Canadian Sport Institute Pacific. It's been running for over 15 years, and I was really keen to take this on and make it happen. And we have an amazing team here that I'm just so proud of, and I think it's just such a special program. It's one of a kind in the city that really helps students on their pathway in their education and their sport. I am passionate about sport. I was more of a recreational athlete. I still am, but I did go to the BC Games for tennis as a youth, and I really wish that I had the opportunity for a program like this. And, we're going to talk about some of the students that go on to be Olympians, Paralympians, but the majority of students are just really great people, and they go on to succeed in life and become leaders in our community across Canada, and really great opportunities. So that's the important thing here. We just want to help build really good humans. A really important part of the program is our partners. So just to give you a little bit of a background, this program would not be possible without PICE, Canadian Sport Institute Pacific, and SIDES, which is distance education through School District 63. SIDES provides the teacher for the program. So all of the registrations from the students that participate goes towards funding the teacher program. And we have Daryl, who is our teacher. He's just a wonderful asset, and he has a background in math, so it's really helpful to the students in many ways, but I also see them getting help. Canadian Sport Institute Pacific, they started the program. They work with all the Olympic and Paralympic level athletes, and they are a wonderful resource to us. They also provide expert speakers for our seminars. So the students are hearing from nutritionists, psychologists, physiologists that work with Olympic and Paralympic level athletes. So they're getting the best information. And then, of course, PICE, which is the organization that I work for. And we do a lot of work in the community with children and youth. Some of you may have had PICE for PE back in the day in elementary school. And we do a lot of work in schools and then summer camps and with youth on their performance pathway in their sport. Some things that we have here for youth athletes: we have memberships available at a special cost in our gym. We have team training available in our high performance gym downstairs if you ever have teams that want to do some training here. We are also part of Camosun College sport management and sport science degrees. So eventually students could be participating in those. And then I also want to let you know we have some scholarships and bursaries open right now on our website, and they can go towards training costs here, or there's 3 cash scholarships for athletes in running, climbing, and cycling through donor Chris Considine. So check out our website for scholarships. And we do have extra funding available this year for the sports school. So we always want to make sure that students are not turned away for financial reasons. And you can reach out to me privately, or you can apply through the bursary process. So the program pillars, there's 4 main key components of the program. So we have sport performance seminars that take place with expert speakers. They might be in nutrition, physiology. Sometimes they go down to the sports science lab and do VO2max testing. It's a really, really great aspect of the program. The Ignite Athlete Development is all of the physical training, which is in the gym, strength and conditioning, gymnastics training as well, and speed work. There's independent study blocks in the classroom here where students can catch up on their work and studying. We also have the support of Daryl. And there are some courses that they do have to take to get electives through the program, which Daryl will talk about. And then the sport-specific training, we don't actually do it here, but students get credit for that for their graduation and don't have to take PE. Just a little bit about what's happening tonight. I've given you a little bit of a background. Lindsay Lane, our head coach, is going to talk about the Ignite Athlete Development Program. Daryl will talk about the academic planning. I'll talk about application information, and then we'll have time for some questions and tour later if anyone's interested. And actually, the most important thing is interspersed through the evening, we'll hear from 3 of our students. So we have Hayden, Thomas, and Leilani, and they're going to tell you a little bit about their experience, and it's definitely the best part of the night. So as I mentioned, Canadian Sport Institute Pacific is a partner of ours, and they have they've launched a network across Canada, which works with Olympians, Paralympians, and they have many campuses across BC, and 3 of them have sports schools. So HIC in Victoria, the Pacific Sport Okanagan, and Prince George. We've had great success with athletes going through the program. Some of the athletes include Caroline Crossley for rugby, Alexis Diarmond for field hockey. So Sophie Goody, you probably are familiar with. Last summer, she had great success in the World Cup and was Women's Player of the Year. Charity Williams was first on the first ever Olympic Sevens women's team back in 2016. Mel Pendle, which was with skiing and cycling, has had a great career. Riley Pickrell in cycling. And then new to our screens this year is Amelia Wells. She was the most recent grad, and she's currently in Milan at the Olympics for cross-country skiing. And she also has been a summer camp leader here at HIC, so we're very, very proud of her. Now my pleasure to introduce Leilani, one of our sports school students. She's going to talk to you about the culture of the program. Okay.
Hi, my name is Leilani Wilson. I'm an elite karate athlete, and this is my first year at Canadian Sports School. Today, I'll be talking about the culture here, what it means, how it shapes athletes, and why it's so impactful. At Canadian Sports School, one of the defining parts of our culture is learning to be inspired and to be inspired. Every day, we're surrounded by relentless, high-performing student athletes committed to excellence, discipline, focus, and accountability. When that level of intensity surrounds you, you don't just show up, you elevate. We train with purpose, we compete with intent, and high performance is what we strive for every day. What makes this culture powerful is that high performance isn't just individual, it's shared. We push ourselves and we push each other, and the energy, standards, and effort we bring all shape the environment.
Yeah.
This year, I faced 2 knee surgeries as part of my sport, and that experience revealed what this culture truly stands for. The standards stayed high, and everything was still expected. David, Lindsay, and Erica created and helped me learn modified training plans, and Daryl made sure I stayed on top of my homework. I wasn't treated as someone on pause, I was treated as an athlete in progress. High performance isn't defined by easy days, it's defined by resilience, discipline, and commitment. The environment you train in shapes the athlete you become. Culture here doesn't just support champions, culture here creates them and shapes them, and it leaves no question. Your best is what you bring every single day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leilani. Now I get to introduce Lindsay Lake, who's our Canadian Sports School coach. She's been with the program for 4 years. She's been with HIC 15. We've worked together a very long time. And she's just a true gem to the program and really cares about the students and has amazing experience in education behind her. So I'd like to welcome you. Next.
Stay there.
Okay, hi everybody. Welcome. Nice to see some familiar faces and some new ones. I'm excited to tell you about this program because it's the best job I've ever had. And I think it's really special that I get to be a part of it. And I always just want to tell as many people as I can because the opportunity is incredible. And if you can seize it, I would highly recommend you do so. So I won't take too long to talk about myself. But I did have someone last year, which was a really good question. I had a dad ask me, why do we trust you? Like, why should I send my child here? What is it about you? And I was like, that was a really good question. There's some things, but I think one of the things is that I am a mom, so I take very seriously that whoever is going to be spending time with my kids matters. And so I don't take it lightly that I'm an influence in children's lives or young adults' lives. So that's the one thing. I know what it's like to send your kids out to the world. It is scary. The other thing is just 15 years of coaching experience. And I think like many of you who are adults know that when you get this deep into career, you're like, woof, you get comfy in the grave. So I think I've seen a lot. I've worked with a lot of different populations. And I don't think I know everything, but I know enough that I'm willing to ask questions and figure it out for the best of the athletes and their long-term growth. And then the other thing I would say is a strength is that I have high performance experience. So for me, it matters what I program. It matters what we teach. It matters that the technique is right. But at the end of the day, if your goal is high performance, it's a mindset. It's how you show up. The culture is really important. How you treat one another, how you show up, how you modify when you need to, how you push when you, all those things. And I know it because I've lived it. And so I really try to transfer as much as I can wherever athletes are at those skills. So I think those would be the things that I try to impart on the student athletes. And like Stacey said, I want you to succeed in sports, but I actually just want you to succeed in life. Because one day your career will end, just so you know. Okay. You can't play your sport forever. To a degree. Let's make that. But anyway, so that's why I feel that you can trust me, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to make that decision. Okay, moving on. I said I wasn't going to talk about myself for too long. Okay, so let's talk about Ignite. Ignite is the train, as Stacey mentioned, it's what we train here at sports school. So this is the schedule, and I have 2 slides. This one is a basic, just to give you an idea of what weeks look like. So Mondays are a seminar and a study block. We used to train on Mondays. I found the athletes were all very, very tired. And so we changed it because it was a sprint day and it was like nobody wanted to sprint. So we have a seminar that day, which has been much better. Yeah. And then we've got Tuesdays and Thursdays, we do our strength sessions, pair study block, and then on Wednesdays we alternate between gymnastics and then speed. So it goes gymnastics one week, speed the next week. So this is what it looks like because there's 2 cohorts. There's a morning cohort and an afternoon. This is what it will look like for whichever suits your academic schedule better. So you've got, you can see there. So the study block interspersed with Ignite, 8 to 11 in the morning or 12:45 to 3:30 in the afternoon. And then you go to your home high school the other half of the day if that's what you're doing. Which is nice. If you are part of a high school, you still get to stay in touch with people that maybe you've been at school with for a long time. So that's nice. We don't take your grade out of that. Okay, let's talk about Ignite. So speed training is very specifically, we do a 30-meter test, which I'll talk about, but we really specifically look at technique and sprint technique specifically. A lot of sports, those first 8 steps that really matter, that acceleration, especially the start-stop sports. So we talk about acceleration, but we do work top speed as well. So, going from nothing to something and then maintaining that speed. If an athlete is not a field sport athlete, you are training power. Or if you're not a track athlete, you don't run in your sport, you're doing power. We do jumps, we do plyos. It is a lot of mechanics. It's not a ton of volume on purpose because a lot of athletes will do their speed session. Like today, some of the athletes who did speed today with us are going and training at night. So we have to be careful with overloading athletes. Gymnastics is super fun. It's working on knowing how you are in space. So what's called proprioception, interoception, how am I feeling? Where's my balance? Falling, rolling, jumping, mobility. It's all sorts of really neat skills that sort of round out an athlete. You will hear me say this a lot. I really want to build robustness. So how do you do that? Well, we get you moving in all sorts of different ways. So if you do something unexpected, your body's like, well, I don't do that. And then you can continue, right? It's like that old thing. If you slip in getting out of the bathtub, you pull a muscle. right? So we're not you guys. I'm talking about my peeps here. It's like if you move that way, then you're not going to pull anything on the bathtub. Okay, and then the last component is strength, which we do twice a week. I'm a firm believer in strength training. I feel like strength makes everything better. You know, it's like if I'm stronger, I can produce more force into the ground, or I can throw something harder. It's just the ability to produce force. So what we work towards is Olympic weightlifting, with a clean and jerk and a snatch. The reason for that is it's just power, like moving a weighted bar, and all the little pieces that lead you into the ability to do that are like, can I do an overhead press? Can I do a squat? Can I do a deadlift? All the things that lead up to that are really good things to do, in my opinion. However, I don't force an athlete to go there if it's just not going to happen for their body. So I think it's important to know that we're not going to put a square peg in a round hole. Okay. So those are sort of the hard parts of Ignite, I would say. These are the soft parts of sports school. So the culture of high performance. Pisces houses a lot of high performing athletes. Athletics Canada is here. We get the rowing team here. The divers come and train here. We get cycling. Like there's all sorts of athletes. So it's really neat sometimes for the next gen athletes to see other people training and how they're at that level, and coaches, of course. And then there's also events that are housed here that are really neat, sort of high performance. So it's just a good environment to be in if this is something that you want to do. You can just like peek into the other side, right? Training with fellow athletes, kind of like Leilani talked about. It's really great having a bunch of athletes around you who are all trying to do what you're trying to do, and they're not competing with you, right? And so it's like, hey, what are you doing in your sport? Where are you going? And what did you do last night? When's your next competition? And it's that they create a really great culture. Like it's fun for me to be around and see how united they are with each other. It's really fun. And then the last thing I would say would be resources. So I've had the opportunity to connect athletes with dietitians if I hear that there's something that they need help in that way. There's an athletic therapy clinic right here on the second floor that often an athlete will go and have an appointment if they need to. Like I'll be like, get up to the clinic, So there's a lot of resources right here, which is great. Yeah. And there was something else. Hang on. Wait. Oh yeah. How did I forget Jeff? And then Jeff Harris is a track coach. He's also an Olympian, 800-meter Olympian. He's been a great resource the entire time I've been coaching sports school. He came down today. He's like, "What you guys doing? Can I watch what you're doing? Oh, you should get your feet up." Like it's so great because he teaches high performance athletes, but he'll come and just loves to work with the next gen. So he loves our speed sessions. Okay, I'm talking too much. Here we go. So I wanted to introduce just our team, because I think it's not just me. We have a really great team of coaches that assist with everything every year. It's a big program and there's lots to do. And we have a great team. So David it's his first year of sports school this year. He's been a huge asset. He also has training in athletic therapy. And I can't overstate how awesome it is to have him downstairs, because something might come up on the day and I'm like, David, because I stay in my wheelhouse. I'm S&C. I'm not a therapist. So sometimes if there's something that I'm like, he'll just come over and it's great. And he's bright and he's lovely. And anyway, he's great. Isn't David great? Yeah. Okay, so that's David. He's the assistant coach. Erica is our intern this year. Every year we hire 1 or 2 interns from Camosun College, which is also awesome because Camosun does quite a good job of preparing athletes. They have a high performance course, so they learn all the lifts and they kind of learn a lot of theories about strength conditioning and sport training. So Erica's with us this year and is doing a great job. She led speed today and got to try her hand at running a session like that, and it went really well. And then we have Grace. So Grace was an intern 3 years ago and had a gymnastics background, and now she's running our gymnastics sessions, which are currently at Inspire. And she does a really good job of making it really fun. Every time I go there, they're having a great time. She loves it. She's loved sports school. She actually volunteered. She didn't get the intern position and volunteered at sports school the entire year. Came to all the sessions and now got a job. So good job, Grace.
Good.
Okay, and then what we do, which I think is another really important part of sports schools, we do testing. So we do it 4 times a year. We do a 30-meter sprint test. We do anthros, which is height, weight, wingspan. We do strength testing in the winter, and then we do a vertical jump test. And so you get that. We kind of get to look at all through the year because it's like, okay, well, am I doing my job? Is this working? What can we change? So it's a really nice, so there's a way of reporting. And it's important to say, I still work with the Canadian Sport Institute. They license the program from them. So I'm on meetings with them. We talk about, we share test results. I report to them. So while they don't directly run the program, they're still very much involved in this program. Really matters to them. So I think and they compare sports schools and compare the data with the RBC training ground data. So worth mentioning. Okay. Are you a good fit? I love these slides. Will you relentlessly pursue excellence in the high performance pathway? Do you want to be a future Olympian or national team member? Are you interested in becoming a better and more well-rounded athlete? And do you want to be around like-minded athletes in a high-performance environment? If you answered yes to one or more of these questions, you are. Okay, and this is really worth mentioning. In athletes, so there's year 1, 2, you could do 10, 11, and 12 sports. In your third year, so say you did all 3 years, you do get an individual program from me. And at that stage, I might give you something a little more specific, but it's not sport-specific training. So we're not going to go outside and kick a soccer ball. We're not going to go and shoot hoops. So I think it's just important to mention because sometimes people expect that. And I actually feel like there's a time and a place for that. And you do need to understand how an athlete needs to move their body in their sport. That does matter at a certain time, you know what I mean? At a certain time and place. But I just need to set that expectation before you, if you're interested, before you apply, just so you know I want to round you out and I get a little cute and specific in the third year. Okay, great. Okay, it is my great pleasure to introduce Hayden. So Hayden's in his first year of sports school. He's a soccer player. And he's going to talk a little bit about the Ignite curriculum that I just chatted about. So Hayden, come on up. This is your you. Okay, coach. Hayden, teacher. Right.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hayden. This is my first year as a part of the Canadian Sports School. I'm currently grade 11, attending Globe Bay Secondary. I'm here to talk about the Ignite program offered by the sports school, which has been an amazing opportunity to be a part of for the past year. Over the past summer, I was in search of a program that would allow me to consistently train my strength, speed, and overall athleticism in a way that would directly improve my performance in soccer. The Ignite program is really appealing to me because I wanted to train at a high level alongside other elite, like-minded athletes. After just a few weeks, it became clear to me that the training program can take my athletic development to the next level. Ignite focuses on building athletes by training strength development, speed mechanics, and other essential movements through gymnastics. A typical week of training for me includes 2 gym sessions and 1 speed or gymnastics session, depending on the week for Ignite. And then each session lasts around 90 minutes, and training in the morning allows my body to fully recover before my team training in the evening. I really value the importance of strength training as a footballer, and 2 gym sessions a week feels like the right balance for me. It's enough to build strength and power without reducing the quality of my performance, on the field throughout the weeks. And I feel that I'm just constantly getting stronger without wearing myself out. Training speed is one of my favorite parts of the Ignite program because I'm constantly learning new techniques and drills that help me get faster and more explosive. And then I can certainly feel the impact on my soccer performance. Gymnastics is a really fun way to train certain areas that I don't heavily focus on, such as flexibility, body awareness, and control for stability, helping me become a more well-rounded athlete. And there's also a really heavy focus on recovery and injury prevention, which I'm very grateful for because it's allowed me to stay fit and healthy throughout my soccer season. And as Lindsay said, there's 4 testing periods throughout the year, which allow me to track my progress and strive for improvements. Being able to track my progress has been incredibly motivating for me because the highlights where I'm succeeding and where I really need to push harder. I also want to highlight the coaching and mentorship in the program. Very grateful to have Lindsay, David, Erica, Grace, and Jenna as my performance coaches. They never hesitate to correct my techniques, tell me where to improve, or remind me what my coach and with their guidance, I'm learning how to effectively train and take care of my body. Overall, the Ignite program is really important to me because it builds my confidence in a really powerful way, and being part of a high performance environment has pushed me to maintain high standards and challenge myself to improve in every session. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Hayden. Okay, and next,
So we go.
I'm going to invite Daryl up. So Daryl is our teacher, and he's going to discuss the academic portion of sports school now. So
Take it away, dear Cole.
Hi, everyone. This is my third year in the program. I used to teach at Claremont and a couple other schools. I've got a lot of experience coaching, and I'm oddly enough, Lindsay and I both same sporting background, rowing. But I've really enjoyed my job here, and just seeing the dynamic that these students make and the progress that they make, and just being part of it. So my apologies, I lost a tooth a couple weeks ago, and it's a little bit hard to speak sometimes.
What's up? Let's.
I'm fortunate. One of the other teachers that works with us, Laura Blake, she's a colleague of mine at Science, and she's got a specialty in English, and she loves offering to help out students even if she's not at the school. She encourages the students to share their documents with them, she'll read over them, provide feedback, and it's just a great resource for them because definitely not in my area.
Me too.
So our academic standards requires our students to maintain high academic standing in their own school courses. It's particularly reflected in their effort and their work habits. That doesn't mean that they have to have A's across the board. As a math teacher, I know that math isn't everyone's favorite subjects. It becomes their favorite subjects, right? But it's good, right? But I totally understand that, but we just want them to understand what it means to work hard and put in the effort, right? If they want to do it on the pitch, then you do it in the classroom as well. Courses that students take. So as part of the program, they will be enrolled in 6 courses with us. Some of them are grad requirement courses, others are electives. Students are given assignments throughout the school year, and we try to kind of pace them out throughout the year, and it helps them capture what they're learning, both in the seminars that Stacey and Lindsay talked about, or their other academic development that they have, right? Whether it's their testing or their own training, like that. So we try to space it out throughout the year, so it's not a heavy burden if they're efficient with their time. So they have time to work on their schoolwork or homeschool work as well. With course selection, they do, generally speaking, their core academic courses, which is generally English, math, social studies, at their homeschool. This changes depending on what grade they're in or where their emphasis is. And some students might be in French immersion programs where you add in the mostly long class as well. So I do my best to help work with them and their family and the counselor at their school to help build their schedule and figure out what's best for them in order to make sure that when they leave our program, whether it's after grade 10, 11, or grade 12, they're on their path to success and whatever they want. So we really try to look ahead and make that plan depending on which area they'd like to do post high school. So I'm always happy to help. And then many students do take additional courses online, and those courses from Science are available basically year round, and students have a whole year to complete them. So our first tip for success: be proactive and have good communication. You want to discuss the standards we have with your teachers and check in regularly, right? Just important to be on top of it, and have a plan, right? And we work with students if they fall behind. We find different strategies to catch up or see whatever needs to be done because everybody's different. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about the academic side? I know, Thomas, you're doing great.
No.
That just means I did a great job.
Hi, everybody. I'm Thomas. I play soccer, and it's my second year in the sports school I go to, Claremont. I'd like to start off by talking about my academics. Before joining the program, in grade 9, I was pretty disorganized, honestly. I was having a not very solid schedule when it came to juggling my school stuff. So that meant sometimes, since homework is never predictable, you never know when you're going to have a night with a lot of homework or little amounts. So sometimes I'd be staying up too late, doing homework, or having to leave stuff for another day, which is not a good habit. Joining the sports school in grade 10 helped me just organize all my stuff with the study block, especially, was super helpful because you have a time in the morning to kind of catch up on homework that you might have not been able to do the night before, and it makes for a much more balanced schedule, especially a sleep schedule, which is really important for student athletes. We have 2 great teachers in the classroom, Daryl and Laura. They've already spoken a bit about himself. Daryl, more math and science kind of guy. And Laura, she's English and social some as well. They're super great, both of them, and always eager to help the kids. So if you're on the break between the program or not, because maybe you don't think your kid will be able to handle both the academics and the sports school, I assure you it's a great place, and you're given lots of time to do your assignments. And if you're thinking about taking an online course to maybe make room for this program, I'd say it's worth it. That's what I did this year. I took an online class so I could be in this program, and still do have enough time to complete your online schooling as well as your other core courses and assignments that you're given in the sports school. So we're all really highly focused in the classroom as well. Not too much chatter, I'd say, because all of us have the same common goal of going high, post-secondary. And so we're locked in the classroom a lot. And I like working with all our athletes, or athletes. It's helping me.
Okay, thanks everyone. So eligibility for the program. So students will be going into grades 10, 11, or 12. And so they must be in grades 9, 10, or 11 right now. And to be registered members and in good standing with your provincial sport organization or national sport organization. Be on the performance pathway, part of a club that offers consistent training and competitive opportunities. And while it's not required, participation in a BC Games in the winter or summer, provincial or national championships, Team BC programs, Next Gen, or national team programs, it all can add to your application, but it's not a requirement. So the application process, applications open today on our website. So there's an early bird deadline of March 31st. So you'll get $100 off tuition if you apply by March 31st. And then applications close on April 15th. We do interviews in mid to late April. It's a very casual interview just to meet the teacher and the coach and get an understanding if you feel it would be the right program for you. And then we give acceptance notifications in early to mid-May. If students are starting to think that they'd like to apply for this program, what we recommend is, and if you have to apply for your courses already for next year, we recommend that you group your electives in either the morning or afternoon, and then your core courses like math, English, sciences in the other half. And then if you get into sports school, you would drop those electives and have the program here. So, does that make sense? So you can go through our website, through Canadian Sports School at CSI Pacific, or just Google Pisces Canadian Sports School and you'll get to the application process. You'll need to fill in the new application, the new student application. There is a $25 fee for new applications, and you need to have a Google account to apply. So usually that's not an issue. Tuition is $4,500 for the whole year, and the value of the program, we value it. It's really closer to $10,000 with all of the services and programs and staff support that the students receive. But we're able to keep it at a fairly affordable rate due to us being nonprofit and getting some donations and grants for the different programs that we have in place. So as I mentioned, we don't want any student to be left behind due to financial reasons. So we have some donors and others that can help with tuition. We always like to remind families or let people know just to really think about, if you're serious about doing the program, to think about how you will get your students here. There are some students that carpool, they take the bus. It usually works out, but it is a really important consideration getting the students here or to and from their school. We have some nice testimonials from some parents that I've put up on the screen. I won't read them to you, but like I said, I'm just so proud of the program, and I know talking to the parents and the students, it's just such a great experience, and so grateful that we can give these student athletes, pathway to the next stage of their life.
But
that really concludes our presentation.